Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Golden Nuggets. This is Monday. This is Carla.
Hi, and this is Donna. We're so excited to have you here. We're going to give it just a minute to kind of let it all the notices get out. They're popping up on my phone now saying that the notes have gone out. So we'll give everyone just a second to get in here. Um,
Today is
and
a special day, Donna.
yes, it is. Super excited.
Super excited.
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and get it off the table. I have been a fan of Amy's forever. When I got started in this, hers was one of the first products I bought. And so I am just very excited that we have her here and we get to ask questions and I get to be, a I get to be a fan and let it
Yes.
show. So Michelle's saying hi, she's here.
Hi,
And
Michelle.
we
Thank
know that
you.
there'll be a few more to pop in.
Yes.
So, but
Mhm.
we're a minute
Oh,
in, so let's just go ahead and get started.
yes, we're very excited to have Amy Harrop with us today. She's a writer. She helps authors and publishers, e-commerce sellers, product creators to become successful. She's a former English teacher, and she has several books, and she has worked more than 12 years in this arena, and we are so excited because she's amazing. We're gonna try to pick her brain and get a lot of content for you guys because and thank you for joining us today.
Yeah. And
Well, thank you, Donna and Carla. I'm super excited to be here, and I really appreciate the warm welcome.
so if you have a question, make sure you pop it down in the comments, everyone. But we've also got a few questions that people have dropped to us and said, "Oh, you've got her." Is so funny how many of my friends know Amy, and they were like
I'm
in
blushing.
awe that we were able to talk to you. So one of the questions I got, and I didn't, you're this is flying by the seat of your pants, but several people wanted to know how'd you get started.
Well, as Carla mentioned, I am a former English teacher many years ago. I also have sales experience. And I actually shifted to being an entrepreneur this number of years ago. I actually got started with selling used books online on Amazon. That's when I lived in Southern California. And it was a lot of fun because Southern California has like a lot of estate sales and, celebrities and different people like that. So you could get these great books. So I used to have fun going to library sales and estate sales, and I used to sell them on Amazon. And then I started seeing what else Amazon had to offer. And this was right about the time they were coming out with their Kindle. And I became an early adopter of the Kindle. I'm actually still, I read a lot on the Kindle. It's great because then you have to pretend you don't need to have reading glasses, which is fantastic. Um, but I saw that they were offering a lot of services where authors were getting published, but it was very new and people just didn't really know as authors and publishers. And I decided it
Mhm.
would be great to use my actual writing and teaching background to help authors and
Yeah.
publishers get published on the Kindle, get their work seen, and then of course other things. And things have pivoted now a lot. We now have a lot of different types of content and e-commerce available online. We now have the exciting new world of AI. So since I started getting involved, I've just really been pivoting and helping people in the areas where they can really get some traction and build up a part-time or even a full-time income. And for the last couple of
Exactly.
years, I've been focusing more on Printables because they're very popular, and a lot of people can get involved with those, and it's been a lot of fun.
Yep. They
Yeah, Amy, you have a lot of experience with printables and digital products. So one of the questions that we have is how can you get your products found? What is the right way to ensure that that you have a consistent printable sales, that your products are found?
Well, that's a great question. I think one of the keywords you mentioned is consistent. And one of the best ways to get your products found is to actually publish your products consistently. Whether that means you're publishing a set number every week or every month. But that's really going to help in terms of, whatever marketplace you're on. That's going to help in terms of the algorithm as well, because they're going to see that you're publishing consistently. So I think that's very important. Another thing is you want to be publishing things that people are interested in. So if you're a newer seller or just getting started, it's really beneficial to start doing a little bit of niche research and see what people are already buying. It doesn't mean, of course, you're going to copy that, just 100%. But if people are buying certain types of calendars, maybe you want to start with that. If people are buying certain types of trackers, a lot of times when I talk to people, they'll be like, I have this great idea, and that's good, but is there an audience for it? So it's really important to determine if there is an audience for it.
Yeah.
And then just kind of a third final thing is sometimes people will have a printable or something that they're putting up for sale, but their description or what they're offering, the presentation doesn't necessarily match what they're offering. They're not making the most of it. So that's another thing to put just as much effort into, because sometimes I think people think, oh, I have this done, it's up, but there's not a lot of focus or attention put on making it interesting and attractive to potential buyers. So that's, kind of the third piece, I think, of that puzzle there.
So you are saying like make it attractive, you say like with the mock-ups?
Well, I think in a lot of different ways. So you can use good mock-ups. You can make sure that your listing is incorporating the tags that people are searching for. That seems to be a popular method that works well on Etsy, is to incorporate listing tags in your title. But I think also having a description that's compelling and engaging. And that means making sure that you're painting a picture for the person. You're talking about what you're including, but you're also painting a picture of the different ways that buyers or users can use that particular product. So it's like basically making a bit of a mini sales letter, when you're doing your description. And then, of course, including things like how easy it is to download, how easy it is to edit, and things along those lines.
I like that you said like painting a picture about the product. No?
Yes. And I think that might come out of working with book publishers, because I used to work a lot with people who had these really, like, they'd have a great book, but then they'd have a really boring description. And it's like, you're that's what's going to get people to take that next step. You need to get them involved. You need to get engage their emotions so they get excited about it and want to click on that add to cart or that buy button.
Yeah, very true. So Michelle Butler is asking, how do you gauge saturation when looking at what people are buying? Sometimes lots of people are buying, but the market is too competitive.
Well, I think some of the things I've just mentioned are going to help you stand out. But if you are just getting started, I also think that's where the niche research comes into. I like there's a lot of niche research tools out there now, particularly for Etsy. I like eRank because it has sort of like color coding of like, the level of saturation. And so sometimes that can be helpful if you're starting with something a little bit easier. You can also go down a step and do more long tail keywords. So instead of doing, let's say, a fitness planner, you could do a planner that maybe is for moms who want to get more fit. I know we were just talking about fitness and going to the gym and getting fit, or having a planner that's specifically geared toward working with a trainer. So I think that's also very helpful, is just niching down just a little bit. So instead of maybe having like a two words for your keyword, maybe you're going for 3 or 4 and you're just niching it in a little bit. And I think too, as you continue to build listings and get more sales, you will have more people just visiting your store and browsing. So you don't have to worry quite so much about that. But particularly, I think at the beginning, you really want to target in on those areas where there aren't tons and tons of saturation.
So going a little bit more in a niche, like in a specific niche, make some research about a specific niche.
Right. So it also depends, I think, on your workflow. Sometimes people are taking and modifying like PLR type content and doing heavy modifications, and that's going to be very generic. So that's where you can come in. And again, with our fitness planner example, you can go in and modify that more to be fitness planning for busy moms, or having a fitness planner where you're working with a specific trainer and you're getting the trainer in there. So you can do that. And then, of course, that's going to be reflected too in the title and the tags and in this description. So like, your description might be like, hey, busy moms, are you having trouble getting your fitness in? This is specifically designed for that, So then you can get a little bit more into that.
And one of the things that I like to do is I like to look at the ones that are selling and then go read the reviews. That's where I get the hints of where I want to make a change. Is if someone is saying, I really love this, or I really wish it did it this way or that way. I look for the negatives as much as the positives.
Yeah, I think that's a great tip. Like, see what people are missing. I see that too
Mhm.
sometimes. People say, like, oh, I like this calendar or planner, but I wish it had this type of page layout, or I wish it had this thing.
That's
And
true.
Yeah.
yeah, it's a great thing to add.
So, um,
So even your clients can give you some reviews, or
yeah,
you can.
yeah, I tell people all the time, if your customer is saying, "Can you do this?" or they write a review and say, "I wish it did that," then pop that note in and say, "Oh, thank you. I'll create this." And then you start selling it. Let your customers tell you where they want to be at.
So you need to do a research of your keywords, of your niche. Be very careful with your descriptions. Pay attention to that, and when as you said, Amy, to put feelings, to make them feel something. Describe your product. Um,
Right. And I think taking maybe a little bit of a sales page idea, you have like I forgot the acronym, but like,
mhm,
define the problem, agitate the solution, or you can be a little more aspirational and paint a
mhm.
picture of what their life would look like. Hey, you're so organized. You have tons more free time now. So using some of those
Yeah,
sales page techniques and thinking of your very expensive real estate of your description as a mini sales page, I think is really important. And I think it's going to put you head and shoulders above a lot of the other sellers, which is going to also help with that saturation.
Very much so. So
that's true.
we know that you are rolling out a new product that starts tomorrow morning, what, at 11 a.m. Eastern? So my question is, what inspired you for this new product?
Well, this product is about making more sales. We've been talking about that. Printable Sales Made Easy. And it inspired me because a lot of people, I feel, get excited and then they run out of steam sometimes pretty quickly when they're working on getting their
That's true.
listings up, and they get discouraged, or they go online and they see, oh, there's all these different printables online. How can I stand out and compete? So my inspiration with this was a lot of feedback from my audience, because I do think there's a lot of tools and training out there to help people be successful, but sometimes a lot of it is just geared toward getting stuff out there but not really fine tuning it, or making
Mhm.
sure you can increase your traffic and increase conversions. So I wanted to focus on that aspect because I think sometimes it gets neglected.
That's true. Getting the traffic so you can convert, and being consistent on putting a product out, and being mindful, like think about the product, make a good research, and increase your sales. But as you said, I like that about getting clients, getting uh, traction towards your product.
And so this new product is talking about traffic versus conversion. Do you want to elaborate a little bit on that for everyone?
Well, the traffic is how many eyeballs you're getting, how many visitors are coming, and then the conversion is how many of those people are becoming actual buyers. And on Etsy, depending on what you're looking at, conversion rates tend to run about 1 to 5%. So it's a little bit lower than maybe if you had something completely like a standalone sales page, which usually runs a bit higher. So the first goal would be to, I think, work on increasing the traffic. And that does tie into doing some of that niche research and making sure you're selecting the best tags and you're selecting the best,
Mhm.
items that are in demand. But then after that, you are looking more at conversions, where you are looking at improving your mock-ups and improving your description. And also, I think, following up, actual uh, customer service follow up. One of the things I'm also talking about is Etsy makes it easy to follow up with your previous customers if you connect with something like a Weber or a Craft Kit that's an integrated list building, and they make it really easy for you to follow up. because the best customers are the people who've already bought from you. So if you can start building up your customer base and getting repeat sales, that's
Mhm.
also going to help tremendously.
Which is what our audience wants.
Yeah.
Everybody is creating their products, and most of them are selling on Etsy and Shopify.
Right.
So it's all about getting that audience.
And I
Um,
like that she said, like that you said about the follow up, you having a list, and there are some tools. They're free that you can start with, right?
Right.
So.
So I have an in-depth with this particular training on setting it up with Aweber, which allows you to start for free and it integrates with Etsy. So there's very little you need to do. It's usually pretty much just like a one-time setup. And then Etsy will opt those people into the list for you. So basically what happens is you have somebody that purchases and Etsy is going to be like, hey, do you want to get some emails from your seller? And if people say yes, and of course not everybody will, but if people do,
Mhm.
then they're on your list. And I really like that because I think it's important to leverage what is available to us as sellers. We want to leverage them
Mhm.
because not everybody's going to do that, first of all. And secondly, Etsy's doing the work for you. They're the ones asking the people to get on there, and you don't
yeah,
have to pay anything. It's just maybe like a half hour of setup time.
Exactly. Don't forget about that. Your email listing, super important.
yeah. And I know and people are sitting there and probably going, oh, now I have to write an email. Emails are very simple, I think, to write, and especially in this day and time with AI coming out to help you, kind of get your thoughts organized. I
Yeah.
use artificial intelligence a lot for creating different things, not to create it so much, but to help me organize and make it sound prettier than what I might say it.
That's true. And I also think when you have a shop or a store, you can keep it pretty simple. You can say, "Hey, I'm having thanks for being a customer. Here's a coupon for, 25% off. Hey, thanks. I have this on sale this week." So you don't have to make it super super complicated. You're just giving them something brief, giving them another reason to come back and visit your store again.
Mm, I like that. I
So
like that.
I have up here on the site the link to go and I do you have a like where they can go ahead and be like in the waiting list for this because you said it opens up tomorrow?
Yeah, it opens up tomorrow. So if they go through to your link and get click on that, they will get cookied. So they will be on there. I don't know if I have that set up as a formal waiting list, but if they basically go to there, they will get put in on there. And then, I would just suggest leaving it up on your browser and just clicking back in tomorrow. Like click today so you can get in on
Mhm.
that, and then just go there and click it tomorrow when it's actually open. You'll see down there on the page it says click here to join, and then launching in 21 hours. So the product's
Okay,
not
yeah.
open
Yeah.
quite yet, but if you go in there and click on and just leave it open in your browser, it will be there. Now I probably could set something up earlier, and I probably should have, but you got the page there. It's
Yeah.
going to be available. So
Well, we've had 2 different people already go and send a note that says it is not, um, open yet.
Okay, but tomorrow at what time?
it opens at 11 a.m. Eastern, and that's because that's
Okay.
8 o'clock here. So I'm on Pacific time, so it's still a little earlier on my end. So you can have that. So I would just leave it open there in your browser. It'll be open tomorrow morning,
Exactly.
and
Just leave it there.
then you can go to it.
Yeah.
And the reason I just have that is because I do have it on an introductory special. So it is something that has the official opening, and then it's on introductory pricing for a limited time.
So there you go. You don't wanna be late. Set your
No.
set your timer. So, Amy,
Tomorrow.
if you had to pick one thing for someone who not necessarily because I know who's on here right now and it'll go out on the replay, but if you had to pick, let's say one thing out of this program that would be super beneficial to someone who's starting and someone who, say, has been doing it for 1 year? So that would be two different things, someone who's brand new and someone who's got a little experience. What would be the one thing that you would be really excited for them to make sure that they saw and that they picked up that golden nugget?
Okay, so we're talking about two separate groups of
Two
people. So
separate groups of
we
people.
want a nugget for each of them. Okay. So
Okay.
for the first group, I really think, as we talked about, being consistent. And I also think making the most out of what you have. So for example, if you have something that's a bit generic, you can take that and make that into multiple products. So getting the most out of what you have, I think, is really important, and being consistent. So I guess that's two. So for the person who's been doing this for a year, I would say you really want to take a look at your analytics. You want to see what you're selling. You want to see what's working. You want to see what isn't working. And you really want to double down on what's working. So if you have a bunch of different stuff in your store and you're noticing that a particular type of printable is selling better than others, or you're noticing that a particular niche is selling better, I would suggest doubling down on that, because when you focus and put your attention on something instead of putting it on like 20 different things, and I think that's easy to do with printables because there's so many different types of printables.
Oh yeah.
I would say really focus and double down on what's actually working, and digging a little deeper into the things that are already selling and see if you can duplicate that. So that might mean not giving as much attention to other types of products you have, but you will see more and better results if you focus more on what's working instead of continuing to spread yourself thin and doing a bunch of other stuff too, or other types of products.
I agree. I agree with you. Sometimes we're like spreading everywhere, and that's a great idea. Like look at your data, analyze your data.
Yeah. Data is just about the numbers, and the numbers don't lie. I've heard that my whole life. Numbers don't lie. Well, yeah, so data is important.
And consistency, that's true. Because people sometimes get discouraged and then stop doing or putting products, and then no, you need to be consistent. You need to be consistent. Put your product out.
Likes that. They like that. So, I'm going to, if y'all have a question, now's the time to put it in, because we're kind of coming to the end. So, this is the awesome chance to be able to ask Amy whatever your heart desires that you want to know about. You had shared earlier, you've been in this niche for 12 years now?
Yeah, I've been doing teaching and training courses and basically creating content for about 12 years now.
Yeah.
So it's been a long time. I've seen a lot of different stuff come and go, but the fact is content is still, I think, what sort of drives the engine of what we're doing here.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. So Carla, did you have any other questions that they had sent to you?
Let me see. Any question? What methods do you use to drive external traffic to your printables? And what do you recommend for someone just getting started?
So to me, one of the best external methods, and I go again, and we'll go into a bit more detail with this, is to use Pinterest, because Pinterest is a visual search engine. It's not social media, it's a visual search engine. And I think it is a great way to drive traffic to printables, because I also think the audience on Pinterest, which does still tend to be primarily women, are the people who are looking to buy and use printables. It's also a great way to drive traffic if you're offering freebies as well to your printables to grow your mail list. So I do recommend focusing and using printables, Pinterest for printables, if that's something that you haven't started yet for external traffic.
Yeah.
It's okay. Do you recommend for some? Okay, that's for someone getting started. Well, and people that is not getting started, no? If you are even
even if you've been around for
If
a while,
you're,
you should
yeah,
still
for
Yeah.
a
be
while.
using Pinterest.
For everybody, pretty much. Yeah. So you can work it into your workflow if you're just getting started. For example, you can get your batch up. If you've been up for a while, what's great about that is you already have your products up. So you can go back in and you can start pinning them. It's very easy to do. You could also look at a tool like Tailwind, which can help automate some of that type of pinning as well. But I think it
Yeah.
works really well with Etsy and just printables in general.
And what about videos? Doing videos too?
Well, videos are great. Etsy does allow you to do a short video, and I do think videos can help people stand out on Etsy because there aren't a lot of sellers who are doing videos, and it can
Yeah.
be easy to use too if you have a template. You don't necessarily need to be on camera or anything like that. I mean, video is great, but sometimes people don't want to be on camera, which I completely understand. So it's not something where I'm recommending necessarily you get on TikTok. You can do behind the scenes videos there too. But you could start with just getting your product videos on Etsy. And then, of course, you can also pin videos to Pinterest as well. So you could take that product video that you've created on your Etsy listing. They're short. You could then put it on Pinterest. And then if you wanted to, you could even put it like on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook or wherever as well.
Yeah, the nice thing is you can use static images and do a video over on Canva. And by the time Canva finishes putting it together, it looks like a video because the way it kind of melts everything in together.
Yep.
So they have several different options over there.
And what's great too is if you're preparing your mock-ups or your thumbnails, you just take them, if you're using Canva, which I also use, and you plop those into your video, and then you're kind of done.
So I have another question here from Michelle. Do you have any tutorials that you recommend for learning how to use Pinterest with Etsy?
Yes. So it's a product that goes out tomorrow. Printable Sales Made Easy has a whole big section on Pinterest, and it also includes some templates as well. So it's all in there.
It's all in there. So Michelle, you definitely want to be able to pick this up. So, and I think it's in the link too. Just go to this link and be able to pick up Amy's product at 11 a.m. Eastern.
And as you said, Amy, there is this tool, Tailwind.
Tailwind.
Tailwind. Okay, Tailwind to schedule all your pins.
Yeah, it has some automation. It lets you sort of repin and schedule and do things. They have, I believe it's like a lot of these tools is freemium where there's like a free tier, there's a paid tier. So you can try out the free tier if it's something you're interested in.
Oh, okay.
So, unless you have a VA, and then you let her do it so it looks live. Or him. I shouldn't say her, because some people have guys. I have one of each. So, well, if there are no more questions, we really appreciate you taking the time, Amy, to come and spend with us and talk to everybody, answer their questions.
Well, I want to thank you, Donna and Carla. I've really enjoyed it, and it's been a lot of fun. So thanks.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for all your ideas, all the information. And I invite everybody to go tomorrow to this link. Check it out. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. No, at all. So tomorrow at 11 Eastern time, it's going to be open for everybody to check. Anyway, we're going to put a link in our group so you have access immediately. But if not, just save it there in your desktop and tomorrow it's going to be there. And check it out. We're so excited for this product.
And we wish you the best of luck, Amy.
Yes.
It's always exciting to roll out a new product and, share your knowledge with people.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm really excited about this, and I'm hoping and hopeful that it will help people make more sales.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we want. Increase our sales, made it easy.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know who this person is, but the link was just in the comments. Let me roll back up there.
I can put it. I can put it here.
Yep.
I can put it here, Donna.
All
There
righty.
you go. It's there. I hope it's there.
It is.
It is? Okay.
So,
Awesome.
So anyway, well, thank you, Amy.
Thank you.
We appreciate it so much, and good luck tomorrow. And can't wait for everyone to go check out your new product.
Great. Well, thank you so much. It's been a real pleasure. Have a great day,
All right.
everybody.
Thanks. Bye
Thank
bye.
you, Amy. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you for joining us today.